Right, welcome back everybody. We're back on the old Vauxhall Vivaro van, and what we're going to be doing in today's video is there's quite a bit of damage to this front bumper. The previous owner did actually tape it up with a bit of duct tape, but I don't like it. It just makes it look a bit tacky and all that with it flapping about. So I have pulled all that off. We will give that a bit of a clean off, but in today's video it's not actually about, we're not going to be painting the bumper and repairing it. We're just going to be making do with what we got. We're going to be taking it off and we're going to be using the hot staple weld gun. And we're just going to staple all the cracks back together from behind, and then when we get a bit better weather we'll have the front off again and we'll give it a primer and a paint. So it's not that we'll say we do all our painting at home, we don't have a proper spray booth for it, so to have a bit of nicer weather will just help with the paint and the drying time and that. So what we're doing is we're going to get started, take this front bumper off, and then we'll have a look around the back, get all the gaps closed up best we can, and then we'll staple them together. And hopefully that will hold out until we get around to getting it in the log cabin for a bit of paint. So let's get started. Right, so you have to bear with me, it's a bit windy out here today, so you might get a bit of wind noise, but I've never had one of these bumpers off before. As you can see, it has actually lost a piece there, so there's nothing I'm going to be able to do with that today. So, but that's just the way it goes. We will make something up for that in the near future, but I can see it's got a Torx screw here, inner wheel arch is all broken as well, so we might be able to secure that, maybe drill a couple of holes and just pull it back together and put a couple of cable ties in there for now, and we will have to source a new inner arch for that. We've got one bolt just up there, and these do have clips along here. All the Vauxhalls do that. They are pretty known for giving away these clips. They're not the best design them ones, so we'll take a look around it. As you can see, someone's had a previous little repair on there, putting a cable tie there and there. This is the first time I've actually been under it. This is all hanging down, so that needs tucking back up behind the bumper. There's another cable tie there, so hopefully I'll snip these cable ties, we'll get this loose again, and we'll get all this lined up as it should be, and then we'll come from behind and staple it. Obviously we're going to have to make something up here. That won't matter. We'll be able to insert some, cut a new template for a bit of plastic in there and a bit of fiberglass to reinforce it. And there's another bit there, so it's obviously hit something low down this. This was all the duct tape. You can see there's a bit of paint there where it's obviously whatever he's hit, but it's got all the residue of the tape on here, so we will give this bumper a bit of a clean down. Crack there. The actual main front bumper, part of it, is fine. It just seems to be the corners. So let's take a look at this side. As you can see, it must be a weak point because this side's actually broke the same as the other side, but we've actually still got the piece on this side. Bit of crap on my finger there, because that's just held on by the screw, so it is working its way out, as you can see there. So that is going to go pretty soon, but hopefully we'll get that back together. Again, that's popped out of there. Doesn't seem to be damaged though, this inner wheel arch. And we got a crack there, and that seems to be the only crack here. So this side we should get looking pretty good really, I think, once we've took it off. And oh, there's a bit of damage here, look. There's quite a bit of damage on this one, but it's not worth replacing it because it's all repairable. So I'm just going to get some tools out now. We will probably have to take the grill out, and we've got 4 bolts there, and that'll probably lift the grill off, and then that'll probably show us probably a few more fixings down here that will get this bumper off. So let me just get set up and we'll start taking this bumper off. Right then, so it's 4 10mm bolts here that I can see, so we'll just take them out. So I've never had one of these bumpers off, so it's all new to me. By the looks of it, we're going to have to take this clip off somehow. The bonnet release catch. Now, is it going to be easier just to disconnect the catch off like that? Yeah. So I'm just going to connect the whole wire off, and then that should just lift up then. Right, so I'll just try and show you. There's little white clips in there, and what you need to do is just prise it apart. Try to do it one-handed. You just gotta pull it back away from the grill, and then they pop out like that, you see. So I'm going to do the other ones, and then I'll come back to you. There we go. Wasn't so bad. Just a matter of working out how these all were done. I thought that was a crack there, but it's not. Alright, so you can actually take them clips out and put them back on the grill, and then once you push in they will lock. So let's just do that so we don't forget about that. So as you can see, that's given me access to another two 10mm bolts. So we'll get them stripped out. Radiator looks good, no damage to that, which is a good sign. So we've got another two there, just to make sure that them two are different, so we'll just keep them separate. Got a cable connected there, just clip. We'll just take that off. Under tray, is there going to be any bolts under here holding this on? I can't see much, just looks like clips. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is undo the side screws, which were Torx bits I believe. That's a T20. So we'll just put that back in there. Get the other ratchet. I'll just whip these side ones off. You don't need to see that, it's only just a matter of pulling these two bolts out. Let's just release that bit of plastic there. So we don't want to lose that bit of plastic, that's just what's come off. So we'll stick that on the top there. Well, as I say, I still think it's going to be connected underneath somehow. So we've got our fog lights to disconnect. We'll just unplug them. Alright, so that's the fog lights unplugged. Yeah, so that just clips in at the bottom there. That's handy. So let's turn this bumper up. I need to clean all round these areas to get all this glue remover up, get all this sticky glue off. We'll clean all that. If my dad's not in the log cabin, we'll take it round there and we'll get the glue gun, not the glue gun, the weld gun out, and we'll just weld all these cracks back up together just to strengthen it up a bit while it's on the van. Right then, so we're in the log cabin now. A bit of a better look, so it's had a bit of a clean up. I've got all that glue residue off. Might be able to get this blue paint off as well with a bit of cutting compound and polish, but not too worried about that yet. As you can see the great hole there, it is all repairable. People will say you could just replace the bumper. I've looked online, the bumpers are about 100 and I think they're about 160, 170 quid, so we'll be able to do that all in-house without replacing that. But as you can see, where someone's had a go at just tying it up, they've not actually done it. There's that big gap, so when we can cut these cables, this should all sit back down nicely, all proud in there. So all we're going to be left with for now is this hole here. All this, I say, just wants slipping off. In fact, let's do that now. So we'll just cut them off. That's been on there that long, them tyres. It's actually got the bumper to mould in that position now, so a bit more cleaning to do there, but I can't do it one-handed. But can you see, we're going to pull that all back together hopefully in today's video. Get all that pulled back together. So we'll have all that pulled back hopefully in today's video. To be honest, all this you don't actually see because it's that low down under the bumper, but this is the main part that I wanted to do. You can see just by pushing that down like that, it's actually closing that gap up. So I'm going to get the old staple gun heated up, and then we'll flip the bumper up, and then we'll try and get some of these cracks strengthened up, ready for paint in the near future. So let me just get me a staple weld gun. Right then, so I've stapled up one side, and I've done it all the way around there. That's that hole you can see. That will get repaired, I say, at a later date. But this is all solid now. That's going nowhere. That's going to make a lot better job on that. So we've just come along and we're going to do this side now. I'll do this on a bit of time lapse. There's too much on the other side to show you, and also I've just inserted this broken bit here. As you can see, the crack goes all the way around there, so we'll staple up around there, and as you can see, that'll bring it lovely. In fact, you can still see the outline of the crack, but I say once we do come and do this bumper for the final paint, all this will be rubbed down. It'll have a skim of top filler in there just to blend that back in. So this is the crack that we're dealing with now, as you can see. Don't worry about that mark, that's just burnt through the paint there. Can't do nothing about that today. So hopefully you can see the big gap in there. We'll push that back through so it's level, sitting flush with that, and then we'll get some staples on it. But first of all, I'm just going to do this while it's sitting nicely. Right then, so if you are a regular to the channel, you would have seen me use this plastic weld gun in a previous videos. This is actually my dad's, because I was actually looking at them a few months ago, because they just come up on a Facebook pop-up ad recommending me it, and from the picture they just look a bit cheap and nasty. They're only 23, 25 quid, so I didn't think much of it. And then my dad went out and actually purchased one, and it's fantastic actually. For the money, you can't go wrong. It's a lot quicker than the plastic welding with the iron. I mean, we still do that because you can't get this in at every angle, so but this is the go-to one now for repairing plastic panels or whatever we need plastic welding. So, and when you are doing your plastic welding, if you put your staple in and you're not quite happy with it, or if you haven't butted the joint up correctly, just stick your staple back in the holes on the element, just reheat it, and you can pull your staple out and you can go again and reuse the staple. So it's fantastic, there's no waste on it. So let's get started, and I'm just going to do a bit on this joint up here. So we're happy with where it is, so what I'll do is I'll just get one in just to hold it. So just heat it up, and then once you've got a bit of heat on it, but don't go too far through. You just want to sink it so the whole staple's under the plastic, depending on how thick your plastic is. So we can sink this one right in so the whole staple's in, leave it in for 30 seconds just to cool down, and then once you've done that, just pull your gun back and that will hold that now. So I'm going to go round, just do round here, and then at the end we'll just snip these little prongs off just so you don't catch them on anything. So let's go finish this off. This will probably take about 6 staples, maybe 5, 6 staples. You probably don't need as many as this, but I say this is going to be a temporary fix for now. We're not actually doing no repairs to the other side of it, so I'm probably going a bit overkill on here. So there we go, that's lovely, that's solid already, that's going nowhere, but I will just put another couple in, just get a couple more staples. So they're easy to put in, just straight in there, and when you're putting them in, just remember, keep your hand away from the trigger because you'll eat it up and you get a bit of a burn off of that. There we go, and that is solid now, that is going nowhere. I might, once I've trimmed these pins down, I might just stick one on the back of this bit here, and that will be that corner fix. So let me just get me snips, and then at the end I say you just, once you're happy with everything, just snip these down so you don't catch yourself on them. As you can see, that is solid now, and that's made a really good job of that. Really happy with that. So you can just see the crack line through there. So I say that will take a sand down. You can even plastic weld it from this side once you come to do your front side, and then just backfill it in with a bit of plastic, and then do your skimmer filler like that. So probably will do that once we come round to it. I'm just going to put a couple of staples in either top and bottom on them sides, and then I'll come back to you once we're doing the main big crack there. So see you in a minute. Right then, so that's the best I'm going to get this crack as flush as I can. It's not too far out actually. It looks worse than it is on the camera. So it's all where it wants to be. So then all we've got to do is we come in from the back area here, and we're going to staple all the way along, all the way down there. till you get to the end. So normally what you do at the end of a crack is you just drill a little hole there, and that stops the crack from spreading any further. So might do that, just say, doesn't matter, because we're going to be doing this whole bumper in a few months time. So but anyway, I'm going to start doing this now. I'll try to leave you on a bit of time lapse and show you what it's all about. Right then, so as you saw there in that little bit of time lapse, we're fully stapled up now. I've just got to, I've done a little one up here I noticed as well. So we are fully wired up now. All I've got to do is go around and strip these staples down, and we can refit the centre grill, because it had actually popped off where he's obviously knocked something. It had just pushed it back, so it hasn't broke any of the lugs, which was quite lucky. So we got away with that one. So everything's buttoned up now from the back. So we'll just take you around. As you can see, that is solid now. And here's the rest of the bumper. The other cracks there, I managed to get all that greeny blue paint off. That's come off. So I can live with that. It looks a lot better than loads of duct tape all stuck over it, flapping about. That looked terrible, that did. So we can take it back out the front now and get this refitted back to the van. So I'll see you at the front. Right then, so you join me back out the front. So we're back in the wind now, so you'd have to excuse that. What we're going to do now is we're just going to pull the bumper up close. We'll get the fog lights fitted. So that's just a matter of 2 plugs back up there. There we go, that's that clipped in. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to lift this bumper back up to here, making sure we're all on at the bottom. That's clipped in nicely. I'm just going to come around here, so that's that on. We'll pull this corner up, and then hopefully that should sit up in the middle then. So I say we don't actually have any proper fixing on this top corner, so we might have to, we'll put the screw up there, but we'll put a big washer behind it, and that'll just clamp it in there. Right, so we're on that fixing. Alright, so we'll drop our 2 10s back in. That back there. Put your little wire clip back on there where that came from. Right then, so we're going to stick the grill back on now. I stuck the 2 corner slots in, so it's just a matter of letting them clips drop back in their home, just like that. There we go. And we'll just re-thread that clip in there for the bonnet catch, and that's operating as it should. So that's all in. We'll get our 10mm socket, put our 4 bolts in, and we'll wind them in, and then we'll take a look at the bumper. Right then, so that's all back together, and as you can see, the bumper's looking a lot better. I did notice once I was carrying it around back from the log cabin, it was a lot more solid. When I was taking it around there, it was flexible, it was bending all ways, but coming back through it was more solid. So as you can see, I've still got that little bit up the top right there to do, but that's not an issue at the minute. It's just this whole corner, all the way around to about here, all the way to the wheel arch, was all duct tape, all up here. So that's got rid of that now. It takes the eye off of it, and as you can see, it's going to need a new set of wing clips, because these ones ain't pulling it up right. But as you can see, that repair there is actually solid now, and that one down there, just an airline crack, is actually solid. So yeah, I'm really happy with that now. It's tidied the van up a hell of a lot. Took that old bit of green paint off that was just all round that crack. That's all gone. It's just a bit more presentable now. I say it's not the permanent solution. It will be getting coming off again, and it will be getting rubbed down and treated properly from this side as well, from the outside. But it was just, I'm using it as a daily now. So I just wanted it to look a little bit tidier. I just need to get myself a nice wing mirror for that. The cover and the glass is gone, so I'll either get a whole unit or just buy them 2 bits separate. Depends what works out cheaper. There's none down the local breakers. They've only got the old shape Vivaros or Renaults in, so they've only had one new one in, and that was all smashed up and it didn't have a wing mirror on it. So there we go. Right then, so I'm going to call that a day for this little video. I say this ain't a permanent fix, I can't stress that enough. It's just to get the van looking a lot neater than it did with all that tape, as I keep saying. So it's not a permanent fix, and I say I'm not prepared to buy a new bumper for 180 odd quid. So it will be getting repaired, unless I do come across one cheap enough that ain't damaged, that it's worth painting. Because either way, this one's got to have paint either way. So if I can find a decent CU second-hand one that's at a reasonable price, I might go down that route. Otherwise, we're going to keep this one, and we will do the repair work on it at a later date. So it was just a little quick fast blast with this one, and hopefully we're going to be getting back onto one of the motorbikes in the next video. I've got the Piaggio NRG to finish off. I've got to put the forks back on, and we've got to get the panels painted, so I need to get a bit of blue paint for that. And also I want to get the TZR engine put back together. I say I've got all the new bearings. I've had them for 3 or 4 months now, but I've just not got around to doing it. So I want to get back on that as well. So there'll be a bit of bike content coming up. I've still got the lawnmowers to do. I'm picking up a 2-cylinder mowers tomorrow. I've just been offered them from one of my subscribers that doesn't live too far. So I'm going to see him tomorrow and pick up these 2. I think they was Suffolks, I can't remember, to be honest with you. He just wants them out his way. He said they was running a year or 2 ago. He put them in his shed. They're both the same, I think, if I remember rightly. And he just said, if I want them, come and pick them up and get them out his way. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Got plenty of lawnmowers to do. Probably got about 10 or 15 now. But I'll be doing them. I won't be doing all of them on camera. There's only so much I can show on a lawnmower. It's either a carb strip and service, or basic service, plug air filter and all that. And once you've seen one video, you've seen them all, sort of thing. So I might chuck one in the mix now and again, maybe when we do a proper job on one, full restoration, but they won't be coming out regular on a weekly basis. Might do one a month if that. So it'll be back to the cars and bikes and any other little projects that we get in. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here, and until next time, we'll see you about.